We are just back on the ground tonight after having witnessed the urgent effort underway from the air. More than 3 days after the fires first broke out, I just flew up over the fires with CAL FIRE, and while we were in the air, we witnessed not only the devastation along the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu and Pacific Palisades, miles of homes wiped away, but also days into this fire, we witnessed the water being dropped on active fires right now. They are trying to save entire neighborhoods deep in the canyons, and you're about to see it right here. Overnight, peak winds again gusting to 81 miles an hour. Red flag warnings remain in place tonight, and they are very concerned about strong winds in the forecast yet again. It's believed some 12,000 homes and structures have burned to the ground. At least 11 people have died. That number is expected to rise. Our ABC News exclusive right here tonight, the view from above as we travel with CAL FIRE. We were in the air late today as crews dropped water on Topanga Canyon below as they try to save homes in Fernwood. The Palisades fire, the biggest by size, more than 20,000 acres now, home after home, street after street, turned to ashes. Just 8% contained. New fires continue to flare up, this one breaking out late today. And tonight, the Eaton fire in Altadena and Pasadena is now the most destructive in LA history, believed to have destroyed more than 7,000 structures, homes, and businesses, just 3% contained. Just 24 hours ago, the Kenneth fire erupting in West Hills, burning over 1,000 acres in just a matter of hours. 8,000 firefighters and emergency personnel now deployed here, including the National Guard. Firefighters from all over the country stepping in, but most live here, working around the clock in horrific conditions, some losing their own homes. They are the heroes here. And tonight, the questions now being asked about decisions made early on in these fires. But we do begin tonight with our flight with CAL FIRE up over the devastation and the fires here still burning as we come on the air here in the West on this third night from California. Tonight, the ABC News exclusive. We take flight with CAL FIRE up over the Pacific Coast Highway, headed toward the Pacific Palisades. And the first images we see here, the coastline, the homes of Malibu that once lined the ocean, are gone.
It's just stunning to look at this stretch along the Pacific Coast Highway here in Malibu. You can see it right over the shoulder here. Home after home just completely gone.
They are taking us to where they say there is a firefight right now from the air. They are now dropping water. But before we even get there, over this ridge, the Pacific Palisades, entire communities wiped away, homes burned to the ground.
This is just a devastating view as we fly over Pacific Palisades. You can see down below just how quickly these fires spread.
CAL FIRE Deputy Incident Commander Justin McComb.
When you look at the scope of the devastation here, what kind of winds were you dealing with in those first 24 hours?
The winds that we saw were 70, 80 miles an hour along the Pacific Coast Highway, and that was what the environment the firefighters were dealing with. There was embers just flying across laterally. Very difficult to even do anything as far as perimeter control. They were putting the edges of the fire out. It was mainly going house to house and protecting as many homes as you could. And the priority was for the life safety to try to get people out of the fire.
He tells me 3 days into this historic disaster, they are still fighting the fires here. We see bulldozers on this ridge trapping the fire.
You can see the flames burning over our shoulder here. This is now 3 days into this. Almost impossible to get to that.
And then we see it. Choppers in the air, crossing the canyon, dropping water, trying to protect the homes with flames moving in.
You can see the urgent effort here right now. This is Topanga Canyon. They're trying to save the homes in Fernwood. That helicopter just dropped water from the air. 3 days into this disaster, they are still fighting fires here, and they have a tool now at their disposal, which is water in the air.
There are so many fires still burning here, more than 72 hours now after the first fires began. Tonight, the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, the Hearst fire, the Lydia fire, the Kenneth fire, and the newest fire to break out, the Archer fire, all still burning. Back on the ground tonight, the families returning home to see what, if anything, is left. The father who told me his wife, his 2 boys are safe, but they lost everything. And while we were in that neighborhood, we learned of another family nearby. They had not been back. One of the children, 21-year-old Jacob Brown, going back today, and he showed me what he found.
David, I'm sure you saw, the entire town is gone. Our lives, our homes, our friends, everyone has lost everything. I don't understand how you can attempt to rebuild an entire community without schools and roads and homes. It's devastation beyond the comprehensible.
Jakob's childhood home, now nothing but ashes. He rings the doorbell of a friend's home, haunting because it still rings, though behind it there is nothing left. The alarms still ringing here in what was once a church and a school.
There's still hot spots, active fire.
Just a few miles to the east, David Hansen is still waiting to get back in to see his mother's home.
LA Fire Department, total heroes, doing a great job.
David giving a thumbs up to the firefighters. His mother, a senior, capturing video from outside her home just 30 minutes after the fire broke out nearby. Her neighbors were trying to use water from their pool to protect their home. Tonight, across Los Angeles, at least 11 lives now lost. It's believed more than 12,000 structures, homes, and businesses damaged or destroyed. More than 55 square miles burned. More than 150,000 under evacuation orders. Since the first fires broke out Tuesday morning, around the densely populated 25-mile expanse north of downtown LA, tonight still no cause has been identified for any of the largest of these fires. Just north of the Palisades fire tonight, the Kenneth fire, erupting late yesterday afternoon near the Ventura County line. Firefighters battling the blaze from the ground, helicopters dropping water from above. A line of firefighters heading up the hill together, tackling yet another fire head on. The all-out assault continuing through the night. Headlamps helping crews navigate the terrain. Tonight, the before and after images from these fires, and they're staggering. This is a condo building on Sunset Boulevard in Pacific Palisades, and this is what's left of it. A Chevron gas station in Altadena before and now. And this cafe in Altadena, the sign once hanging out front, crashing to the ground. And tonight here, an eerie new look at the wildfires. A home security camera capturing the moments flames close in on Walter and Yalda Cease's Altadena home, embers flying through the air. The couple had evacuated, and now they're back.
It's overwhelming. I don't know how we're going to get through it, but we will. I know we will. It's just going to be a long process.
They and their 2 dogs are safe, but they have nothing. And like so many here, they tell us they will rebuild. While back in the air tonight, firefighters dropping water from above while they can, knowing dangerous winds are ahead.
When you think about these firefighters who really haven't had a break since this started, and to look at this forecast and see that these winds are coming yet again, what do you think?
It's tough, but you know, we've bolstered our assets. We've actually had not only some of the regional resources from Southern California, but we've got resources from Northern California. We've got resources from Nevada, Colorado on the way. So we've got resources coming in to back us up on this.
With these winds returning.
Correct.
So many of these firefighters have not had a break since this all started. And tonight, the desperate battle from the very start against the flames here. An army of firefighters right there in the front lines in harrowing conditions. Reports of hydrants without water or with little pressure. One reservoir offline for repairs. ABC's Matt Gutman tonight with firefighters at one fire station in Pacific Palisades that actually survived.
Tonight on the Palisades fire, the back-breaking round-the-clock race to put out remaining hotspots like these still burning this morning.
We are still seeing homes burst into flames here days after the initial fire passed through. Fire crew just arrived here for the first time.
But swirling around them, controversy about whether Los Angeles officials failed to supply enough water and deploy enough firefighters.
This is Sunset Boulevard, the very heart of Pacific Palisades, and amidst this sea of absolute devastation, there was one building that was left standing. That's Fire Station 69.
Captain Jeff Brown has headed this station for nearly 8 years.
Lots of talk about the water running out, that you were fighting a fire without all the resources necessary.
As all these homes actually do burn down, and a lot of them have their own fire sprinkler systems, that those sprinkler systems become compromised as the house burns down and the water will free flow. And as we see our gauges go down lower and lower, we knew we were getting low on water.
And thousands of simultaneous leaks sapped the town's water supply, But that's not all. Tonight, ABC News has confirmed a nearby 117 million gallon reservoir that feeds Pacific Palisades has been taken offline for repairs well before the fires broke out. But that night, firefighters battling flames over 100 feet tall, which destroyed much of the town in a span of just 6 hours.
If you'd had all the resources and all the water, would it have made a difference here?
I've been on the job for 36 years, and I've never seen weather like that. It was a hurricane force wind with fire involved. It was indescribable.
David, the LAPD tells me they expect to find additional bodies in the debris here, which is prompting a swirl of controversy about whether lives could have been saved. And it's one reason that Governor Gavin Newsom is demanding an independent investigation into those water issues, calling it deeply disturbing. David.
Questions for weeks and months ahead on all of this. Matt Gutman tonight. Our thanks again to you.